We are starting with something that Hollywood drama scripts and documentaries are made of, the anatomy of a con artist. It happens in all kinds of ways. A phone call claiming you owe the IRS, pay now or face grave consequences. Or maybe you put your life savings into what turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. But the con game is even more hurtful and deceptive when the perpetrator is your best friend. That friend groomed our first guest and eventually made off with nearly $100,000 of his money. As a former journalist, Jonathan Walton used his storytelling and investigative skills to warn people about the woman who conned him and at least 45 other victims. His work helped to put her behind bars for 5 years, but guess what? She got back out, and after being accused of conning more people, she's since been extradited to face charges in Northern Ireland. Jonathan is here with his new book, Anatomy of a Con Artist, the 14 red flags to spot scammers, grifters, and thieves. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let's start off with...
My God, what an introduction. Thank you.
Well, it is the truth, right? This is not a con. It's the truth.
No, but so eloquent. Thank you.
For people who are looking, going, Jonathan Walton.
They remember me.
Yeah, they remember you because you, of course, used to work as a reporter, the fun reporter who brought smiles to so many people's faces on KHU 11 News this morning with Ron and I and David and Darby.
Salad days.
Yeah, morning wake-up call and the whole bit.
Yeah, remember we knock on strangers' doors with a live truck in front of their house?
Yeah.
I look back, I'm like, how did I not get shot in
You're right,
Texas?
you're right. Today you might. You're right. Today you might. All right, you moved off to LA to produce reality TV, not realizing that your life would basically almost become a reality TV show.
Yeah, that nobody was filming. I was working on Shark Tank, ironically, when I met a shark who turned out to be a con woman. She became my best friend very quickly, and over the course of 4 years, she scammed me out of close to $100,000. But I was naive, and I didn't realize that con artists are real. Like, they're people you know and love who get into your life.
They're not just in the movies I talked about.
No, the new boyfriend, the new girlfriend, the new coworker, the new neighbor in my case.
Yeah.
And they're just lying in wait. And the people are like, well, she only got $100,000 in 4 years. I'm like,
okay,
no.
I would be upset if she got $1.
Well, she was scamming 20 other people at the same time. She was working as a psychologist, as a lawyer. She pretended to be a judge. She had so many characters and so many plates spinning while she was conning me. I had no idea.
She was the conning chameleon, right?
Oh,
so constantly altered her appearance, changed her circumstances and stories, pretended to be your best friend for many years. And they have that ability. It's almost like that sociopath, psychopath. They have this personality that's magnetic, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Very charismatic.
Tell us how you first met her.
She, and I write this in the book, it's red flag number 1. She offered to help. I was living in a nice building downtown LA. We had this gargantuan swimming pool. We lost the swimming pool with a fight with another building, and I galvanized the neighbors. I put flyers up. I'm like, let's get the pool back. And she was one of the neighbors who saw the flyer. And looking back, she must have been saying to herself, this guy's a do-gooder. Yeah. I'm going to get him to do good for me.
Yeah.
So she came to the meeting. She took over. She took over the meeting and she offered to help.
And we have
very
confidence in that person,
Yeah, and very funny and fun. And she said her boyfriend is this big-time LA politician. He can get the pool back, no problem. We all cheered. And we became friends.
Yeah.
And then,
so at this point, she's hooking her prey. And
yes,
when you say
or she's figuring out. She's
Yeah.
figuring out who are because she scammed a bunch of people in my building.
Wow. Okay.
She did.
So she's hooking her prey, and then of course she has to get deeper into you. So then it becomes I like that person.
Yes.
I'd like to get to know that person a little better. You start going out to dinners, and one thing she did.
Pays for.
She paid for it. Yes.
Yeah.
She's removing any doubt before setting her trap. Right.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
And people tell me all the time, you're such a smart guy. How did you get conned? And I reply, well, listen, I've investigated hundreds of cases. Con artists don't outsmart you. They outfeel you. They use your emotion.
Yeah.
It is. And with me, at the time, I'd come out as gay. Part of my family had a huge problem. I hadn't been home for Christmas in 8 years. I felt kind of disowned. And she pounced. Well, my family disowned me too. They're trying to get me disinherited. So we bonded over that, over being two lost souls in Los Angeles who found each other, and that was her hook into me.
Yeah, and then paying for everything. She was like, she proved already that she's good for it. She put that
Absolutely.
up
She
front, right?
projected herself as a wealthy woman. She wined and dined us. She took us on vacations to Palm Springs.
Oh, wow. Off of somebody else's money that she conned out of them,
Looking
right?
back, it was another victim's money.
Yeah. All right. So she proved she was good for it before the that was going to come, right? She told you that she had lots of money. That's where it came from.
And I saw proof. I saw emails. Yeah, emails and texts from her barristers in Ireland. And this is another red flag I write about in the book. It's the red flag of technology. If somebody is using digital screens, a cell phone, an iPad, a laptop, to sell you their story, here's my bank account, here's a text from so-and-so, it wasn't so-and-so. She created an online account to text herself to sell me so-and-so exists when they did not.
Yeah, all right, the bonding connection there.
Yeah.
All right, and of course, what you just talked about is seeing is believing. When we look at it, we go, oh, yeah. Like, you might be telling somebody on the outside looking in, oh my gosh, she is like, she's an heiress and a whole bit. And somebody might be, really? There's an heiress in Ireland? You're like, no, I've seen the emails, trust me.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Right? Okay, the other thing she did was you mentioned she had conned several people in your complex. You're thinking, were people ever talking to each other?
And
she
this
made
is
sure
another
that you
red
didn't.
flag
Yeah.
I write about, and they all do this. They isolate you.
Yeah.
Isolation. So, and it's so easy to isolate someone because a lie can make it all the way around the world before the truth can put its pants on. If I just tell you, Deborah, you know what so-and-so said about you? You're going to hate so-and-so. You're not going to talk to so-and-so. Then I go to so-and-so and go, listen, so-and-so, Deborah said this about you. So-and-so is going to avoid you too. So you two
But you know what it is? It's just enough where that other person is not going to confront that other person, because I'm knocking on your door. I'm going to say, what did you say? Right? But it's just enough for you to go, I never liked that person
Exactly. And
anyway.
most people aren't you. Most people aren't going to do that.
Yeah.
Most people are like, you know what? I don't want to see so-and-so ever again. She told me a neighbor in my building was on the run from Canadian police for murder. And she scammed her.
Stay away from that one.
Sherry Cooper, she was the manager of a strip club. So I'm thinking, she is the manager of a strip club. Maybe she killed someone. I avoided her. And then she told Sherry that I was an unhinged lunatic breaking things in my apartment. So Sherry avoided me. She scammed us both with different stories. And every time we'd see each other at a distance, we'd run the other way.
Yeah.
Isolation.
Right. So Mare is this heiress. And then something happened where, here's the other hook, right? Something happened where her money that she was going to inherit in her will was under threat.
Yes, and again, she laid the breadcrumbs and I picked them up. She said that there's a clause, she showed me from her barrister in Ireland, there's a clause in the will that if any heir gets convicted of a felony, they forfeit the inheritance. And I warned her, because at this time she established that where she was working, the owner was the best friends with her cousin, who was like fighting her for the inheritance, 25 million euros. You know, she's gonna get like the equivalent of $10 million herself. And I said, listen, I worked in news for 10 years, sweetie. Like, husbands knock their wives off for $1 million insurance policies all the time. Like, you be careful. They might try to set you up. Like, I called out the con.
Wow, and she led you to that. Yeah,
she did lead me
like
brilliantly.
you said, the breadcrumbs.
So then, a couple of weeks later, ring, ring, she's in jail. She's calling me from jail.
Was she really in
jail?
jail?
You were right, Jonathan. Yeah, she got arrested
for something else.
For stealing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I thought, oh, this is the cousins coming out. Right. They paid off a dirty DA and a dirty cop in LA. They're a dime a dozen over there.
They can take any situation and twist it into what their needs are. She puts it into her script.
Yeah.
All right, you finally discover the truth. She's born in Maine and moved to Tennessee.
Yeah, and that took some years to figure out. But all I knew at that point is she'd conned me. You know, I was, the bad guys froze her bank accounts and she had no money to live. I started loaning her money, and then she needed money to pay to make this bogus case go away. And I saw the email from the attorney saying this case will be dismissed. I'm like, okay. So, and again, beak wetting is another red flag I write about, because I'd loaned her $5,000 way back when, and she paid me back the next day.
Oh,
so I felt confident. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the trick that they all do. They'll show you a little money so you'll feel confident down the line to give them more. So,
all right, so she did have a connection to Ireland though, right?
A tenuous connection. She had lived in Northern Ireland for 8 years. She met a guy online early 2000s when internet dating was all the rage. She moved over, married him, stayed there, scammed a bunch of people over there too, and then disappeared.
Okay. The financial fallout for you.
I lost close to $100,000. I had to file for bankruptcy at one point.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was devastating.
And the hard part about this is that, there's several cases. In fact, there was a friend of mine that called recently. They're watching their money come out of their account because somebody was charging stuff. And they go, we found out that they just charge at this one place. Can you go to that place and find out who this person is? And the police are like, yeah, that's not really what we do.
Yeah,
this
police,
is not really, we're looking at this as file a civil suit, right? And you're never going to catch this person. So police, you have to be, there's so many, we'll go through in a minute, some of the things to do to make sure your case is taken care of. But I turned you away at first. You started your own investigation, as we said. You uncovered the 45 other victims globally, and she had impersonated psychics, mortgage brokers, psychologists, lawyers, travel agents, and cancer victims. Did a fake GoFundMe page using her daughter's picture. There is nothing this woman would not do. All right, well, finally, she ended up in jail, but after serving some time, she got back out. And as they say, a leopard does not change its spots, and so she went right back to it. So what did she do next, and where is she now? We'll continue our conversation with Jonathan, and he'll share the 14 red flags to spot a con artist and what you can do for police to take your case seriously.